been waiting for this for a very long time. Hey guys, what is up? How's it going? Today, if you've been following me on Twitter, you know that I've been waiting for this day for a very long time. So to put it simply, ever since the Nokia 7 Plus was announced at MWC 2018, I was just sold from the get-go, right? I knew that this was going to be my next phone, and I was going to do whatever it took to get it. So I sat patiently waiting for the phone to be released in the States, and months went by, and months went by, and months went by, and now here we are. So this phone was released in March of 2018 in China, I believe, and then it was moved over to the India markets, and then brought to the international market like Europe and whatnot. But there hasn't been a US variant. So right off the bat, you're probably wondering, okay, how did you get this phone then? Well, Amazon.com, through third-party sellers, are actually selling this phone for a very reduced cost. I mean, keep in mind, the phone's not sold here at all whatsoever, so when you're buying it, there is a little bit of a catch, though. Number one is you don't actually get warranty with the phone. I know, you can still buy a third-party warranty with it, however. And number two is that support for this phone is very limited here in the States. So knowing this, why did I go and get the phone anyway? Well, to put it simply, right now my carrier is Project Fi. That is the carrier that I decided to go with, and if you watched my Nexus 6P unboxing almost 3 years ago, in fact, you know that I unboxed not only that phone, but the SIM card for Project Fi, and I went through the setup process in that video. And I've been a happy Project Fi customer up to this point, and the cool thing about Project Fi is that it's actually an MVNO, which basically means that unlike other networks like at&t and T-Mobile, Verizon, who just basically have their network across the country, Project Fi actually borrows mobile bands from T-Mobile, Sprint, and US Cellular, I believe, with, there's another European company that they also use to give service there. So the bottom line is that Project Fi actually has more capable bands than most other networks, but it is still very limited. Now, the main important thing here is that the Nokia 7 Plus doesn't really support a lot of US bands, making it very hit or miss when it comes to the connection quality here in the United States. However, through my research of actually getting this phone, I decided to do a little bit of a test to see if this phone was actually usable in my day-to-day life. Now, how could I do that without actually owning the phone and testing it out? I discovered this new cool app called LTE Discovery, which basically allows you to ping and read which specific band you are connected at any given point. So I did a connection test here at my house, I did a connection test at work, I did a connection test at Jacob's house, I did a connection test at my parents' house. I did a connection test basically anywhere at any time when I went somewhere. And what I found most of the time was actually pretty surprising. Most of the time, I was on T-Mobile's band 4 and also their band 12. Now, band 4 is actually supported by the Nokia 7 Plus here. Another band that is also supported is band 41. Now this is in terms of LTE connectivity, which is, there's different bands and connectivity options for 3G. So after that, I kind of felt a little bit better, but I also started reading some reviews of people who have actually tried using this phone in the US. Basically people who have at&t and basically people who have T-Mobile were actually finding that they were saying, hey, the phone is pretty usable where I live. Although where I live is always something with an asterisk, because someone who has great connections in Florida, the other side of the country for me, may not be the same over here. But that's why I also conducted the test on my own. And yes, I did find that pretty much all of the time I was on band 4, and I always had good to great coverage using that specific band. So here I am, I decided to take the plunge and actually try out the Nokia 7 Plus for me personally. And what's great about this is because I actually had this shit from Amazon, this is actually not sold by Amazon, although it was carried through Amazon Prime, I actually qualified for their return policy. So I actually have about a month, I believe maybe even 45 days to try out this phone to see whether or not it is something I can truly contend with. And if it's something that just doesn't work out, unfortunately, then yeah, I'm gonna have to say goodbye, but at least I get my money back. But if it does work out, hey, I just scored on a really great deal for a very, very good phone. So while that is all said and done, I do want to say that basically I'm super excited, and I am going to do a follow-up video to this video right here explaining whether or not the phone was actually usable in the States. Because as far as what I could search on YouTube, no, there's so many reviews about this phone, but no one's talking about whether it actually works here in the States. Oh, and by the way, if you're waiting for the phone to come to the States, I actually have a screenshot I'm gonna post up right now. This is officially from Nokia's Facebook page. They actually replied to me and confirmed that the phone is not coming to the States, which is pretty depressing and why I'm forced to go ahead and get the international version. So as I said previously, guys, I'm stoked. I mean, this is something that I really wanted for a little while now. And what's great is that while this phone is probably around $450 to $500 once you convert all the different costs that this phone is actually priced at in the different markets, again, because it's not supported here officially, $350. You pay $350, you get a 6-inch 18:9 Full HD display, a great Qualcomm 660 mobile chipset, a 3800 milliamp hour battery, and the same camera that Nokia is using on their flagship Nokia 8 Sirocco. It's the same setup. It's like you literally get no downgrade. So it's almost incredible the value you get for this. In fact, I have to say that I've wasted my money on a ton of electronics. This is probably the best purchase I've made so far in terms of value for what you get. All right, so let's unbox this. I'm just so excited to finally test this out. Now, I love my Nexus 6P. That phone has stuck with me for years, and still to this day, rarely hiccups, you know, but I really feel the need, because, you know, I'm such a fan of technology, I just wanted something different. And, you know, for me, I've always gone through a different manufacturer for every phone. Every single phone I got was a different manufacturer. And Nokia, you know, being around since pretty much the beginning, I'm just super excited to finally get to unboxing this. So what we're going to do right now is I just cut the tape. We're going to change perspective so it's a little bit better for you guys. All right, everybody, so let's take a look at the packaging here. Very awesome. Now, again, Nokia's been around forever. Pretty much, if you're probably born after the year 2000s, then you may have not heard of them or barely heard of them, because they've kind of been through a rough patch as of recently. What's really cool is they actually start off making pretty much the indestructible phones, the first mobile phones. Then they did a little bit of a deal with Microsoft, making Windows phones. And then they kind of, you know, the company kind of went out of business. And what happened is a new company called HMD Global, which was formed by old Nokia employees, actually started to take the helm and started to make Nokia phones with the branding. So technically this phone is made by HMD Global, the ex-Nokia people. They're just using the Nokia name, so more or less Nokia. So, but let's take a look here. We're gonna lift the top off, and wow. I mean, this is the first time I've seen the device in person, but wow, it is beautiful. Here, let me get this tab up. There it is in the plastic, and I have to say here, this phone is more pretty in person. My God, this is beautiful. All right, I'm gonna toss that to the side for now. We also have the instructions here. Now, because this is, again, the international version, the instructions are actually in Chinese, from what I've been told. Not that you're gonna read them anyway if they're in English, but yeah. So, all right. Again, normally we don't even read instructions anyway, so it's not really a big deal. I'll put that over to the side here. We got a tab, and in this tab, it looks like there's an opening. Now, this phone is supposed to come with a US wall charger. Yes, it does. An official Nokia branded US wall socket. And then in here, oh sweet, we get official earphones. I didn't even know it came with earphones. That's amazing. All right, I'm gonna test these out as well. That's another big thing, again, why I wanted this phone. A headphone jack. There it is. A fucking headphone jack. You know what? I'm so tired, and I blame Apple, you know, and Apple makes great products, you know, even though I'm not a personal fan of theirs at all. This is a USB-C charging cable. But what I hate is when the market follows Apple because they do like one little thing. Like, just because Apple gets rid of the headphone jack doesn't mean that we all have to get rid of the headphone jack. It's super annoying. Like, Apple has, it's funny because the Android actually has a bigger market share when it comes to people who own phones. Most people own Android phones, but everyone still follows Apple for some reason. It's like the weirdest freaking thing. But anyway, yeah, that's what you get in the box. Pretty bare bones and simple. It's nice that they gave you the US wall charger here, an official Nokia branded one at that, and then the earphones. I didn't even expect that we were going to be getting earphones here, so I'm actually going to be testing out the quality of these and see if they're really good. But the main thing is this phone here, and what we're going to be doing right now is I'm actually going to be charging this, and we're going to be setting it up. I'm going to actually be plugging in my Project Pi SIM card to see if, in fact, we do get cell phone connection in 4G LTE. All right, stick with me. All right, guys, so the time has come here. We're gonna finally put in the SIM card. I did charge the phone a little bit. I got it up to 94% pretty quickly. But I'm gonna be taking the SIM card out of my Nexus 6P here from using a Project Pi SIM card, and I'm gonna be putting it in this phone and turning it on for the first time, all right? So, I'm gonna get our SIM card removal tool here. All right, and we're gonna see if, in fact, this actually works. And then what I'm going to be doing is, of course, I'm going to be doing a follow-up video for you guys to see, okay, what's it like to live with this phone in the actual States here. So, take a look here. All right. There's another main selling point. This phone is actually Android One, so that means that it's running stock Android, no bloatware, no crap like that, and you get timely updates for up to 2 years, I believe. Usually it's longer though. Isn't that a class? It's so classic, man. All right, guys. So yeah, the phone is up. It actually says I'm getting 4G if you're looking on the screen right now. Here, what I'll try to do is I'm bringing a little bit closer so you guys can just see. Change the focusing of this camera one sec. There. A little bit closer. There we go. Yeah, you guys are seeing 4G right there. So I'm actually going to make a test call here. Let's make a test call and let's see if it actually is performing well here. So it's called Jacob, I guess. This phone number. I think if I memorized it correctly. Alright, so let's see if it actually works. Hello? Well, it's actually calling, you can see. I'll probably go to his voicemail. I think he's at work. Yep. Well, it actually works. I mean, it went to his voicemail, but yeah, I just made a call there. So, like I said, guys, yeah, it says 4G right there. I'm gonna do some more tests on here and actually see how the phone quality is, cell quality, and whatnot. And we're just gonna go on from there, right? Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the unboxing. I really wholeheartedly appreciate it. I know a ton of you watching are actually wondering what it is going to be like using this phone in the States. So I'm definitely going to be doing up a follow-up video. Just expect in the next couple weeks or so. I do want to give this phone a good amount of time. So maybe towards the end of this month, I'll do a follow-up video for you guys. But yeah, I'm just really excited here. You know, again, I've been tweeting about this phone for months, ever since it came out. And when I heard it wasn't coming to the States, it just... You know, it sucks. I know a lot of people, you know, there are those who just want to get the latest Samsung, get the latest iPhone, LG, whatever. You know, and I've owned a Samsung, I've owned LG, and those are great phones. Those are always going to be great phones, you know. But what I like about getting the underdog, and yes, it's funny to think of Nokia as an underdog, but they kind of are in today's climate. When I look back and I think about, you know, the phones that, all the phones that I've gotten, they've always been sort of the underdog. Even Samsung and LG before they were like top tier like they are today. You know, and what I like about getting the underdog of phones is that it forces the manufacturer to actually try and to put some hard work into innovation and to give you value for your money and to just kind of go above and beyond, you know. This phone's $350. It's not officially released here, but this phone's built tougher than I bet any Samsung phone. You know, Samsungs are beautiful phones made of glass and whatnot. This thing's a single solid block of aluminum, and they're actually metal chamfered edges, and they're just fantastic, you know. And it's just a beautiful design that really, this phone looks more expensive than it is. And I'm really happy to, you know, just sit here and have it as my main, you know, driving force for YouTube and just Twitter and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, just kind of going about the world. I want to test the camera and go to some places and take some really nice pictures. So, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this, guys. So keep in mind, for those of you who are interested, yes, I will be doing up a follow-up video, and that will be up in a good timely manner. I just got to adjust my settings and get all my stuff on here, and then we'll be good to go, all right? But thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate all your hard work and comments. And again, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability, and we'll go on from there. All right, I'll see you guys in a couple weeks with my full-on impression / review of what it's like to use the Nokia 7 Plus in the US. Thanks, guys.